What's up YouTube? Jameson Rubik's Guy here. First video of Go Battle Night. I ended up recording about 30 battles. Not sure how many I'm going to post, but I wanted to get something out. So this is probably the best set that I had. There are some funny memeable moments that happen later on in a different video, but we'll start with this one. So I've got my computer here. I'm playing back the footage. So if I'm looking over here, that's what is going on. First battle is against HK Love. So shout out to you if you watch. I've sped up the battles a little bit, but there's still going to be a couple minutes each. Giratina lead against Dialga. I like to build up to a Shadow Ball and then one past. My health will generally hit yellow, and then I fire off the Shadow Ball. That puts shield pressure on, and then I immediately switch out so they can't Iron Head me. Normally it works, however this time, unfortunately not. They get the Iron Head out. I'm pretty sure I can survive it. So at this point, I don't want to switch lock myself. I let the Giratina go. I bring in the Melmetal. No, I bring in the Dialga to farm down. Okay, because if it was so low, I went for the Dialga. Groudon comes in. Groudon destroys this team. By the way, I'm using Giratina Origin Form as the lead, Melmetal in the middle, and Dialga at the end. At this point, I think I just want to mirror shields, because if an Earthquake hits me, it's game over. Melmetal has no play against Groudon, and of course they bait me with a Fire Punch. So I'm just farming down. Once they do a Fire Punch, after 3 more moves, 3 more fast attacks, it can be an Earthquake. So that's a common baiting tactic. Not going to fall for it. I have been double baited before. It's not fun. Iron Head, luckily they let it go down. Otherwise, I probably would have lost the battle. They bring in Togekiss. I immediately switch to Melmetal. Dialga does have play against Togekiss if you can get to an Iron Head, especially when shields are down. But I knew I was just going to get farmed down. I didn't want to get him to a Flamethrower. So I come in, I Rock Slide, and at this point, it's simply build up with Thunder Shocks, send out Rock Slides, and take the victory. So we'll jump ahead to the end. No. I don't want to cause myself a headache in editing. Flamethrower comes through. It is super close, actually. But Dialga has enough health left to farm down. And because I didn't let him take me out, we won that. Second battle is against Sunsaku 14. Once again, Giratina lead against Kyogre. Probably one of the best matchups you could ask for, because Kyogre has no play against Giratina unless it hits a Blizzard. They know that, they swap out to Snorlax. I lose most matches against Snorlax, but let's see how this one goes, because it hard counters Giratina, and Snorlax has super effective damage in the form of Lick against Giratina. But this one runs Superpower and Body Slam, so Giratina still has a fighting chance, and I think we'll get back to that later. I built up to 2 Superpowers, because I don't want to debuff myself before I can hit 2 out. Superpower 1 comes through, immediately send out the next one, but they beat me in the CMP tie. Who would have thought that a bulk boy like Snorlax can beat a Melmetal in a CMP tie? Maybe it wasn't. They've sent out their energy, so I'm going to build up to another one. I'm not in threat of being farmed down. I send out 2 back-to-back superpowers. I'm pretty debuffed now. It's still super effective, but it's not going to do nearly as much as if it were unbuffed or undebuffed. I think I'm going to swap now. No, I'm going to go for another superpower. Do I shield this? Yes. Snorlax, like I say, gives my team trouble, and they don't need to know that I have a Dialga in the back yet. Good switch. I think what I would do here is switch into Giratina. Yep. I remembered that I have some charge moves saved up. So against Kyogre, when they switch out, I generally still want to build up to a charge move. I've been playing with sending out the moves versus saving them. But against Snorlax, it would have done no damage. I want the energy. I'm pretty sure it couldn't have been a Blizzard there, so I just let it go through. Commit to the farm down. Luckily, they weren't able to hit a Surf. It still wouldn't have taken me out. Snorlax, I have basically 2 Shadow Balls saved up. I just love doing the mini game for Shadow Ball or any ghost type moves. 2 more fast moves, Shadow Ball, take it down, and I think they have 1 more Pokemon in the back. Yep, their last Pokemon is Dialga. Immediate switch into my own. They're going to beat me ahead on energy. They're probably going to hit the Draco Meteor, so I go for the Iron Head instead. They can't take me out with an Iron Head. Even though they're ahead on energy, I can get those extra 2 or 3. I can get to the Iron Head before they get those extra 2 or 3 Dragon Breaths. I think it's like 17 for Iron Head and 22 for Draco Meteor. So now Melmetal comes in. I'm considering, do I catch a special move? Do I catch a charge move? But they can't get to the Iron Head in time. Their attack is debuffed. Superpower will take out this Dialga. Boom. Game 2 is a victory. Jumping ahead to Game 3 against Sir Gamma Snow. Speaking of snow, it just started snowing today here in Bend, Oregon. I'm excited for the winter, but I'm sure that will die out quickly when you can't walk your driveway. Giratina gets Melmetal. I always stay in that matchup, but they bring in Groudon. I ain't switching out of this because Melmetal has basically no play against Groudon, and Dialga needs to be saved for later. So I go back and forth about, do I build up, do I send out Shadow Ball or Ominous Wind? I noticed that Groudons tend to not shield the first move against Giratina, so I just go Shadow Ball, and generally maybe 3 out of 5 times it works, so I'm happy about that. At this range, Earthquake won't KO, and I need my shields for later. I can't tell what I pressed there, but we'll find out soon together. Shadow Ball. I ain't playing around with this. Groudon needs to die. And they do an amazing swap into Dragonite. At this point, I'm thinking the game is lost. I have to figure out a way to take out. So I switch immediately. I have to figure out a way to take out that Groudon later. So I switch immediately into Dialga. And unless they have Draco Meteor, I don't need a shield. But I didn't want to take the risk because I knew victory was coming back. So I used my last shield. I'm spam tapping just to get as much damage off as possible. Groudon needs to go down now, so using Iron Head. It's out. Melmetal. So a superpower directly to Dialga's face will take about 60% of its health. So at this point, if you can build up to a Draco Meteor and not send it out until they superpower you, you can actually beat them to a CMP tie. I looked at the stats. Dialga has more attack than a Melmetal. So if they'd like to build up to 2 superpowers and you have a Draco Meteor, you can get to that Draco Meteor and don't fire it off. They go superpower number 1. As soon as they finish number 1, you hit Draco Meteor. You're going to beat them in the CMP tie. They debuff themselves. That's the best way to play that, shield depending. Now we're in a Melmetal on Melmetal mirror. I superpower it. He's debuffed. Game over. We pulled that back from them catching a Shadow Ball on their Dragonite. At least I didn't pull the trigger on an Ominous Wind, because that might have played out differently. Next match is against Peppered Fire 1989. Giratina against Melmetal. Again, a very favorable lead here. I believe I can survive over 3 Rock Slides against Melmetal. So in the Giratina Origin versus Melmetal matchup, I don't throw any charge moves until I hit cap energy, because I'm expecting them to switch out and I want to have energy lead into whatever comes next. I'm not pressured, so I can throw out the energy at my own timing. Throw it out here, because it looks like they're staying in. Ominous Wind to the face. Luckily they shield. Let's go again. Another Ominous Wind. They shield twice. At this point, I have 2 shields, a Giratina with energy. I think I shield this, yeah. I want to win switch advantage. I want to make sure they have to bring in something against my Giratina. I'm still kind of confused as to how switch advantage works, but I'm learning. Farm down, Shadow Ball hits it, farm it down. Now comes Mewtwo, and they immediately switch into Dragonite. You saw it said go Mewtwo, and then it was Dragonite. So they expected to catch a charge move. I saw that. I'm saving the energy. They've switch locked themselves, so I go Melmetal. And Melmetal just absolutely destroys Dragonite. Dragonite has access to Dragon Breath as a fast move, and I think Dragon Tail. And charge moves would be Hurricane, Draco Meteor, and Dragon Claw. So none of those have any effect on Melmetal. Look how little damage that does. Melmetal is steel, so it resists flying and dragon moves. So at this point, if the best he can do is Dragon Claw, there's no reason for him to throw a weaker move because I have no shields. So I know, well, I do have a shield. So I figure I have time to farm down, cap my energy, send out the Rock Slide, and finish him off before he throws his Dragon Claw on me. I know Mewtwo's the last Pokemon. I don't want to throw Focus Blast or Superpower against Mewtwo. I've done that before by accident, just in a panic. Before he can build up, I switch immediately over into Giratina and Shadow Ball him to the face. And that's a good game. I think this is the second to last match against Asian Jordan, or AA Asian Jordan. Maybe he's a fan of batteries or screaming, who knows. And we glitch out. So we're going back in. This happened a couple times. Next match is against Vic21 Leon. So with the most recent update, where they changed the switch buttons and they make it zoom in on the Pokemon that they're sending out, I think GBL is more stable, knock on wood. I did about 120 battles yesterday over the course of up to midnight and after, and very little lag issues. Giratina and Groudon. Once again, this is the best matchup that's possible. They all kind of suck, but this is the more advantageous one. So I'm not going to switch out of this. Like I said earlier, Shadow Ball to the face. They generally don't shield. I don't know if that's true at all, but it's what I've been finding. I take the risk and it works. And I call the bait, which is huge, because at that point, even if the Earthquake hits me, it's not going to KO, and I have enough time left to get to more charge moves. Because Mud Slap does nothing against Giratina. Earthquake, I know that's going to be an Earthquake, so I think I farmed this down. No, I don't want to risk getting taken out. If he shields at this point, I have to shield back, because that means he's got an Earthquake coming out. But he lets it go down. In comes Dialga. I'm going straight Shadow Ball, because I can't get to 2 charge moves. And I think I let Giratina go down here, because I don't want to switch lock myself. If I switch into Melmetal, which is the better option, he would just switch out. And who knows what he has in the back. So here's Melmetal. He has the option to bail now, so I'm expecting a Draco Meteor. It does about 60% of my health, so I don't need to worry about it. But he baits, which is fine by me. I save a shield. So I'm going for Superpower. It's going to debuff myself. I think I switched to Dialga to farm down. Yep. He has about 2 Dragon Breaths worth of time to think and change out his Pokemon, which he doesn't do in time. So Draco Meteor is definitely the harder hitting move, but by the time I get to it, like, I'm so focused on hitting the Draco Meteor that I forget to look at how low Mewtwo's health is getting, just charging it up to that. So all I need is the Iron Head. If he has a Focus Blast, it'll take me out, but Melmetal is so far ahead in energy, 1 Rock Slide will do it. So Shadow Ball, I know I'm going to get to the Iron Head, and that will be a good game. That was a 5-0 set, and probably it was the only 5-0 set of that night. So I was pretty stoked about that. I had a notepad set up for all of these, and at the end I'll put up a screenshot of the 5-0 victory from the journal. Catching a Torchic, so tired of these. Trico is probably my least favorite. There are a few more of these videos coming. I filmed about 30 battles, like I said, 8,400 Stardust. So I got about 10,000 from that set, including the Stardust rewards. No Star Piece. I saw Zionic do Premium Track. He got 24,000 dust from a 5-0 win. It might have been a 4-1. I think it was. And he had a Star Piece on too. So it didn't show the Star Piece, but that was 32,000 dust. The equivalent of walking 100 kilometers and getting the weekly Adventure Sync in 20 minutes of battles. So this was fun. I enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed your Go Battle Night. Now time to edit this. Rubik's Guy out. More to come.